In synagogues these last weeks, we have read about two expressions of human purpose. First, God places Adam, the first human, in the Garden of Eden to work it and to guard it. In other words, our role is, as gardeners, to spread seeds and to produce and protect life. Later, God confides in our forefather Abraham because God knows that Abraham will teach his children, us, and his household to do tzedakah and mishpat, righteousness and justice. In other words, our role as Abraham's descendants is to pursue tzedakah and mishpat, righteousness and justice. So, which is it? Are we to be gardeners like Adam, or pursuers of righteousness like Abraham? As I thought about this question, I noticed for the first time two words that are tucked away in the daily morning prayer service. We praise God as Zorea Tzedakot, spreader of seeds of acts of righteousness, a planter of tzedakah. There it is, a merger of Adam's and Abraham's role. God is a planter of acts of righteousness, performing righteous acts that serve as seeds, leading to more righteous acts so that the world can become a garden of goodness. And we too, as people, are told to imitate God in this respect. In the biblical book of Hosea, we are instructed, spread the seeds of tzedakah, righteousness, for yourselves, harvest the fruits of chesed, kindness. Becoming planters of acts of righteousness and harvesting the fruits of kindness. That is our role as Jews and human beings, and it is our role together as a community at Jewish Family and Children's Services of Northern New Jersey. So how are we planting acts of righteousness and harvesting the fruits of kindness? As people in our community struggle to put food on the table, we served last year 1,933 individuals and families through our corner market kosher food pantry. Thoughtfully, our food pantry is unique in how thoughtfully it is designed with the latest technology to ensure choice and privacy, and also to serve people who are kosher. Over the last few months, we have seen increased need for our food pantry. The corner market was already stretched beyond capacity before SNAP benefits cut off on November 1st. And yet, my colleagues made clear to our existing and new clients that we would step up to care for them and any additional families that come to us, because that is what we do as a community. And unprompted, we started getting calls and emails from lay leaders and our friends at Federation with contributions of food and other resources. And our volunteers stepped up to stack the pantry shelves and prepare food for our clients. That is our community in action, planting seeds of righteousness. There are so many other ways that we are rising to meet this moment of increased need in our community. Just a few examples. This year alone, we served 1,292 older adults. This includes 400 Holocaust survivors whom we provided with, and I'm not making up this number, 247,586 hours of home care so that they could continue to live in their own homes with the dignity that they deserve. In other words, we provided an hour of support to a Holocaust survivor almost 250,000 times. Can you imagine a greater expression of love sent by our community to our most precious members? than that number. At a time of mental health crises facing children, teens, adults, and families, we are providing the highest quality, affordable mental health care to 1,199 individuals and families and 194 support group participants. Our amazing Kosher Meals on Wheels volunteers, including many in this room, delivered 42,453 meals and an unquantifiable amount of love to 148 Kosher Meals on Wheels recipients. The JFCS Club Ed team, and you'll learn about the origins of Club Ed shortly in a video, provided high-quality after-school programs to over 360 children at 9 schools across 4 Bergen County municipalities. And as the challenges of finding employment or affordable housing grow, 96 people received expert counseling from our relaunched career services. 24 clients remained in their homes through emergency rental assistance, and 89 families benefited from our case management services. And on and on and on. We help thousands of people, one person at a time. We are dedicated to seeing each person in all of his or her unique strengths and challenges. So, to show you the impact of our work together, we would need to form a line of thousands and thousands of people stretching from this podium out this ballroom to the parking lot throughout Bergen, Passaic, and Hudson counties. We would warmly call up each person, one at a time, to tell his or her story of how JFCS impacts their lives. Instead, we are excited to share with you 2 stories through the eyes of our wonderful volunteers. First, we will hear from Roger Zeman, a volunteer with our RAISE program, preparing adults with developmental disabilities for the workforce. We proudly launched the 3rd RAISE cohort last week. Next, we will meet by video JFCS's oldest client, the wonderful Harry Spicer, who is 105 years young. I had the privilege of visiting Harry's home and spending time with him. There I met Pam Morgenstern, who is Harry's volunteer cooking companion through JFCS, and she will share with us his story and her story in a moment. Roger, Harry, and Pam, and all our clients, volunteers, and supporters are gardeners, spreading the seeds of righteousness in our community and harvesting the fruits of kindness. Thank you to each of you for gardening with us, for contributing to our collective work at JFCS and bettering the lives of thousands of our neighbors, one person at a time. Thank you.